Today from Digital Domain Park in Port St. Lucie, the site of the 2012 FHSAA Baseball Finals. This is a Class 7A state semifinal between the Eagles of Brandon and the Barracudas of New Smyrna Beach. Good morning, Baseball for Breakfast. Mike Rideout along with Mark Schanbach. We welcome you to the first of 4 games today here on the FHSAA Network. And Mark, in this one, you got the Brandon Eagles, who actually have won one state championship against the New Smyrna Beach Barracudas. It's been 75 years since they last played in the state baseball Final Four. 1937. You have to go all the way back to 1937 to find the last time they advanced to the championship game.
Did they travel by horse and buggy in those days?
Right.
I imagine the Model Ts or something were running down the dirt roads back then.
So we got the Eagles of Brandon, who come in with a record of 19-8 against the Barracudas, who come in with a record of 17-11. Let's run through the starting lineups for the visitors of Brandon. At third base will be number 6, Taylor Raymond. Batting second, the second baseman, number 5, Austin Sullivan. The center fielder, number 7, Eric Hinostroza, bats third. Batting cleanup, the pitcher, number 16, Chris Toney. Batting fifth and catching, number 1, Adam Sass. Batting sixth, the DH, number 28, Michael Caballero. Batting seventh in left field, number 17, Ryan Anderson. Batting eighth at shortstop, number 15, Jordan Feist. And batting ninth in right field, number 29, Miguel Fajardo. As we look around the horn, left to right at the Barracudas defensive alignment, Joe McKee over at third base, Dylan Woods at short, Brandon Amendolore at second, Jordan Sapotnik is at first. Chris Scarcello behind the plate catching. Dakota Todd on the mound today. And in the outfield left to right, it's Steve Rogers, Robert Prosser, and Joel Ogrum. So we are ready for baseball here at Digital Domain Park, the spring training home of the New York Mets. It's 3:38 down the left and right field lines, 4:10 to straightaway center field, 1 minute after 10 o'clock here on a Saturday morning in Port St. Lucie. 80 degrees, beautiful day for baseball, and the first pitch of the ball game is on the way, and it's taken low for ball one. Your umpires for today: behind the plate, Carlos Brown; at first base, Mark Anderson; and over at third base, Mike Fafidas. As the 1-0 pitch,
Dakota Todd here on the mound for New Smyrna. Control pitcher, likes to get a lot of ground balls. Infield playing back, except for even in the bag at third base.
Quickly 2-0. The 2-0 pitch, that is there for a strike. It's 2-1. You know, I know we don't have any video of it, but I'm sure it happened because it's become a ritual now for New Smyrna Beach. It began in the district semifinals with a university game, but sophomore pinch runner Brian Fiddler, they put on Michael Jackson's Billie Jean, and he performs the moonwalk for his team before the start of their games. I'm sure he did the moonwalk, and they're hoping to moonwalk their way to the championship game.
Well, that's interesting. That seems to be something that is the craze. At Lake Howell last year, when they were in the district, the quarterfinals, they had a rain delay, and one of their young sophomores did that same Billie Jean dance and kept the team loose in the pregame. Young guy named Riley Laney.
Okay, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Taylor Raymond, the senior third baseman, leading things off for Brandon. Raymond batting .303, second on the team with 18 runs scored. The 3-2 pitch, swung on, line drive, center field, base hit. On a 3-2 pitch here in the top of the first inning. First hit of the ball game, first base runner. And that will bring up the second baseman, Austin Sullivan.
Mike, I think advantage to hitters in this tournament. This is the 9th game that I've worked, and several opening base hits in these games. Pitchers trying to find, get comfortable on the mound, find their strike zone, figure out where the umpire is going to be. Dakota's going to have to be in control to be effective here.
And this one is bunted foul by Sullivan.
Todd, not known to be an overpowering pitcher. Low 80s pitcher, 80-82. Likes to work quick, get a lot of ground balls. Ground ball right here would be the pitcher's best friend, turn double play.
No balls, 1 strike. Runner at first. As you see, Raymond takes his lead. Todd works from the stretch. Throw to first, not in time.
Well, Brandon showed bunt right away, looking to get that first run on the board, advancing the runner. Stay away from a twin killing. We'll see if Austin Sullivan squares again here.
Mike Regilio, the head coach.
Hit
Runner
run
on the move, and that's going to be through the left side for a base hit. Back-to-back hits by Raymond and Sullivan, and the Eagles threaten with runners at first and second and nobody out here in the top of the first inning.
Well, old school baseball right there, Mike. Put the runner in motion after showing bunt. The bunt changed the coverage defense where the shortstop now is covering the bag. Instead, second baseman's leaning toward first base to cover bunt, but swinging away, wide open hole right where the shortstop would have been playing.
Here's Eric Hinostroza, the center fielder, a junior.
Back-to-back base hits via the hit and run. And you got to feel for Dakota Todd. He got exactly what you would want, a ground ball that could have gone 6-4-3. Instead, he's staring at no outs, 2 on. With a 3-hole hitter, Eric Sinostroza up at the plate. The center fielder, good wheels.
That one hit foul, third base side. I misspoke earlier mentioning that Brandon had won a state championship. They actually played in the state championship game in 2008, lost to Dunedin 16-3. That was in a 5A state semifinal game.
Dakota Todd ahead 0-1 here. Going to start trying to work the outside corner. There's the bunt. Fouls it off.
Yeah. Behind in the count, 0-2 now.
Well, execution of the hit and run was flawless. So far, execution of the sacrifice bunt still needs some work. Let's see what happens here. 0-2. They turn him loose. Hinostroza batting in the 3-hole. Must swing the bat well.
The 0-2 pitch. That one hit to the right side. Foul, first base side.
Just a swinging bunt, but goes foul.
Hinostroza batting .262 on the season.
Outfield in the left, playing a little shallow. Center fielder average depth. Right fielder a little deeper. The left-handed batting Sinostroza.
A little bit more on your starting pitcher, Dakota Todd. Todd with a record of 4-4 on the year, making his 17th appearance and 50 innings pitched. He has walked 23 and struck out 38, comes in with a 3.32 ERA. That one is swung on, got a piece of it. Todd has a sinker ball. That's his one of his best pitches. He has a good breaking ball. He really attacks the zone, 80 to 82 miles per hour. Works quickly, gets a lot of ground balls, and a good work ethic. His coach said because of his work ethic, he could walk on somewhere. New Smyrna Beach coached by Nick Regilio, as that one is hit through the right side. Actually, the first baseman, Zapotnik, knocked it down, at least slowed it up in the infield to keep it from getting in the outfield. That prevents the run from scoring, but the bases are loaded with nobody out here in the top of the first inning.
Well, Brandon Amendolari chased down that ground ball after it was deflected by the first baseman. Made a scary throw to third base. Luckily, third baseman Joe McGee blocked it up with his whole body. It kind of one hop to him.
A little bit more about the head coach, Nick Regilio. He is a graduate of Father Lopez. He coached Father Lopez for 1 year last year, led Father Lopez to their first playoff berth since 2000, but Regilio pitched for the Texas Rangers 2004 and 2005. Elbow troubles ended his career 3 years later.
Something unique. Dr. Fernandez, who was the coach of New Smyrna, helped build this program to the point it's at. Went to Father Lopez. The two head coaches swapped. Joe Jose Fernandez became the AD and is now taking a nice prep job up in Georgia.
All right, here is Chris Toney, the cleanup batter, the starting pitcher today for Brandon. Eagles threaten with the bases loaded and nobody out, top of the first, just underway. As the first pitch is popped up, this one will head over in behind the first base dugout, out of play.
Well, so far you've gotten exactly what's advertised from Dakota Todd. 2 ground balls, unfortunately, he has not gotten the luck of the draw, has not gotten an out. One more right here on the corner's end will go home to first. Up the middle, we're turning 2 at second base.
Next pitch inside for a ball. Evens the count at 1-1.
Well, Tony's our starting pitcher and our number 4 hitter, looking to do some damage, help his own cause.
Batting .270 on the season, 1 triple, 1 double. The 1-1 pitch. That one is taken outside for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bases loaded for the Brandon Eagles, who come in with a record of 19-8 under their 10th year head coach, Matt Stahlbaumer. Mike Virgilio in his first year with New Smyrna Beach. 17-11 are the Barracudas. As this one is hit to third, they'll come home and get the lead runner at first, or at home. Fielder's choice for Tony. Raymond retired for the first out of the inning. That's a big out.
Well, the catcher, Sarcello, normally a DH, pressed into service as the starting catcher when the number 1 catcher went down earlier in the year. He's done a good job. Looked a little surprised as he was receiving that ball. Had to find the plate, was unable to try to turn 2 on that.
So 1 out, bases loaded for Adam Sass, the senior catcher.
3 ground balls for Dakota Todd. You talked about a walk-on situation. Very good likelihood he could redshirt somewhere, get a little stronger. If that 80-82 goes up to 85-86, he could be an outstanding college pitcher with this kind of control.
You mentioned Scarcello, the catcher, and kind of getting called into duty. Same thing happened with Brandon's Adam Sass, who's at the plate now. Tyler Raymond tore his ACL prior to the season. As Sass hits this one to third, they're going to go for 2. To second for 1. Back to first. Double play. They get out of a bases loaded jam with nobody out.
Gutsy play by the third baseman to get that double play started with a good throw to second base.
5-4-3. Pitcher's best friend. The twin killing ends the threat here in the top of the first. Brandon with no runs on 3 hits. There were no errors. And a couple of runners left on base. We head now to the bottom of the first inning. It's the Brandon Eagles nothing. The Barracudas of New Smyrna Beach coming to bat right after this.
Championship games in classes 2A through 8A live. That's Bright House Network Channel 47 and HD Channel 1147. Also, check out the baseball page on FHSAA.org for a list of championship game replays.
Well, the Eagles threatened in the top of the first. They loaded the bases with nobody out, but they failed to score. A couple of balls hit over to third as McKee came home on the first ball hit to third, and then on the second one decides to go for the double play to get out of the inning. 5-4-3. So the Eagles will now go on defense, and we'll set the defense here for the Eagles. Over at third base, Taylor Raymond. The shortstop is Jordan Feist. Over at second, Austin Sullivan. Alex Gittens at first place. Adam Sass behind the plate catching. Chris Toney is on the mound. And in the outfield left to right, Ryan Anderson, Eric Heinestroza, and Miguel Fajardo.
Well, Mike, on that play, a lot of times the ball will help you decide where to go. If the ball leads you towards second base, it's an easy decision. You turn 2 in the middle. If the ball leans and you have to backhand it toward third, you step on the bag at third and go across. And if you have to come in on it, you go home for the double play. That ball was hit right at him. He had to make a split decision, and he made the right decision. Working with the adept middle infielder, Mendelari at second base, turned a quick 2. The previous play, he came to the plate. It looked like Cercello was a little unsure of himself trying to turn the double play. So excellent decision. Turned out to be a big bonus.
Barracudas 17-11. Their playoff run this year has been as much a surprise as last year's 24-17, which lost in the first round of the state playoffs. But here they are, 17-11. And that team, the Cudas, lost 5 position starters from that team, including Josh Powers, who went to Stetson. Another player, Blake Sadesky, went to South Florida. Angelo Amandolore went to Seminole State College. So they lost a lot of players from that team, but yet here they are playing in the state semifinals under their first-year head coach, Nick Regilio. This is Dylan Woods, the shortstop, leading things off. The 1-1 pitch is taken outside for ball 2.
Well, if you look at that record on face, 17-11, you wouldn't think that would be a team playing in the semifinals of the state championship. But you look at the people they had to go through, outstanding baseball teams they had to beat to get here.
That one hit over to second. Sullivan on to first. And there's one away here in the bottom of the first inning.
Big game they had to get past was Winter Springs, who was ranked 1 in the Orlando, Volusia County area all year. They beat them 4-3, then beat Childs 7-5 to get to this point right here.
Here's Brandon Amendolori, second on the team in several offensive categories, including batting average with a .337 average. He leads the team in runs scored, second in hits with 29. 15 ribbies, also second on the team. He's also tied for second with 4 doubles. Varsity since a freshman, starting since his freshman year. He's a junior. Hit over 400 last year, according to Coach Regilio. Very smart player, knows the game. Coach would like him to be a little bit more vocal. Maybe he'll become a little bit more vocal during his senior campaign. 1-1 pitch, good pitch. Tony had him chasing that changeup, and it's now 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. That one almost hit him. It's inside for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The junior shortstop leading things off here, or batting second for the Barracudas with 1 out.
Tony, a little bit of a sidearm delivery, trying to hide the ball.
2-2 pitch, grounded to the left side. Feist booted it. Our first error of the game. Looked to be a routine ground ball.
If I didn't know any better, I think there's actually a hole in his glove. He was right on it. Took his eye off it, I guess, at the last.
So an error on the shortstop. And that's the first base runner for the Barracudas. 1 out, 1 on for Steven Rogers. Steve Rogers, the left fielder, a senior.
Just misses inside.
There's an interesting story about Rogers. He's had all kinds of trials and tribulations. He missed almost all of last year. In fact, he almost died from a bacteria infection. Then had a good summer. Came back, had a growing pull. They weren't sure, why it was continuing to linger, so he went to a doctor, and they discovered that he had a tumor in the pelvic area. He missed the first 6 to 8 weeks of the season, as that one's called for a strike. And his will to get back in to the starting lineup really has motivated his teammates. The team has had more of a mental toughness and aura about themselves. He's a great kid, according to his coach. Hits this one at third. This could be 2. No, they throw it away. Second error of the inning. This one at third. And that will put runners on the corners. Back-to-back errors by the Eagles.
Well, quite a contrast. Defensive play by Joe McKee in the first half of the inning. And now, unfortunately, left side of the infield letting their starting pitcher down at the moment for Brandon's Eagles.
Mark, these teams are very similar in that there are no stars or college signees. For New Smyrna Beach, it's all about grit and determination. none of the 7 seniors for the Eagles have college offers yet. So these are guys that are just, playing the game the way it's meant to be played, being passionate and working hard. It's paid off. Here they are in the state semifinals, and one of these teams will play for a state championship.
Well, the most recent reconfiguration of districting and adding the 8A category has shook up a little district here and there, and there are some stronger and weaker districts out there. Not saying either one is stronger or weaker, just giving a great opportunity for yet another 4 teams to make it here to the state tournament.
New Smyrna Beach got here with wins against Oviedo, nationally ranked Winter Springs 4-3, and Childs of Tallahassee. That one was on the road. That was a big win also, 7-5. First pitch to Joel Ogram, swung on and missed for strike 1. Brandon defeated Haight City 1-0. They edged Riverview 2-1, and Osceola on the road 3-2. So they've won 3 one-run ball games to get here.
Great battle by Adam Sass to try to get in front of that ball the way outside, keep it from going to the backstop, saved a run potentially.
So the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike on Ogram.
Runner at first base did not move up on that ball in the dirt. A little surprised he did not take that advantage.
First year on the varsity for Ogram. In fact, Nick Virgilio was telling me that several of his starters are either in their first or just their second year of varsity. See the starting pitcher, Chris Toney, 10-1 on the year, making his 16th appearance, a 1.02 ERA. This one's going to get back to the seats.
Ogram hitting .325 on the year, looking to produce some runs right here with a base knock.
In 75 in the 3rd innings pitch, Toney has walked only 16 and struck out 79. He's going to have to work out of a jam. Runners on the corners with 1 out thanks to 2 errors here in the inning. This one's fouled back by Ogram.
Conservative approach right here with 1st and 3rd. Runner at first, Stephen Rogers, very cautious out there. Had an opportunity earlier to move up on the ball in the dirt that bounced away from catcher Adam Sass. Still standing at first base though right now.
The 1-2 pitch. Did that hit him? It did.
That nicked his forearm on the way in inside.
So the bases are loaded for Jordan Sapotnik. The senior will bat, and he'll have an opportunity to get the first hit of the game and put the Barracudas on the scoreboard for the first time.
Sapotnik, leader in home runs for New Smyrna, has hit 3. Not going to hit one without a little help today. Right field line 338 down there. It's going to take quite a shot. We've seen a couple home runs. Last night we saw some shots hit.
Great look at the, when we get a chance, we'll take a look at the catcher Adam Sass. As this one is hit into left field. That's a base hit. First hit of the game is going to play 2 runs. New Smyrna Beach, 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the 1st inning. Runners will also advance on the throw now to 2nd and 3rd. The senior comes through for New Smyrna Beach.
Little 1st inning jitters for the defense here for Brandon. Throwing the ball around a little bit. Beautiful base hit. Took the ball right where it was pitched, outside, straight away to left field. Nice little tail. 2-run RBI for Sapotnik.
And it will also be an error on the left fielder to advance the runner. So the 3rd error of the inning. 1 out with runners at 2nd and 3rd. 2 runs in for the Barracudas as they strike first, as the infield now draws in with Casey Zakaluzny coming to the plate.
Sapotnik, along with Amendelari, part of the Central Florida Baseball Elite Prospects group. Got a lot of great experience playing with that group under the direction of Andy Barquette.
Another hit, plates a run.
And it's starting to look like a potential route here, Mike.
How many times do we talk about errors opening the door? 3 big errors in the inning and 3 runs for New Smyrna Beach.
Well, a contrast for sure. Leaving the bases loaded, Brandon gets 0 runs with 3 hits in their top half, and now 3 runs scored with 3 hits for New Smyrna, thanks to help from some of the errors.
Runners are on the corners with 1 out for the catcher, Chris Scarcello. Swing and a miss at the first pitch.
Well, Zach Lucie jumped on the first pitch, and now New Smyrna, they're feeling it. Hitting is contagious. They're up there ready to rip.
Scarcello got his first start at catcher in the region quarterfinals, and offensively, as he lines that one to center, that's going to plate the run, though. The throw to the plate is wide, and it's now 4-0 New Smyrna Beach. A sac fly and an RBI for Scarcello. Sapotnik scores on the play. Amendolori, Rogers, Ogrum, and Sapotnik have all scored in the inning. The Barracudas now sending their 8th batter to the plate.
Well, Robert Prosser, a late call-up from the junior varsity, got into the playoffs. In his first 6 at-bats, he had 4 hits. Earned himself a starting spot. Hasn't left center field since.
The pitch to Prosser is called a strike. Prosser, a sophomore.
Should be a big part of their future.
Now, here's the interesting thing about Robert Prosser, okay? This guy was on the JV, started on the JV team, got called up due to injuries, stepped in against Winter Springs in the postseason. He went 2 for 3. Then the next game, he went 2 for 3 against Giles. He's 4 for 6 in the state playoffs, and Coach said, how do you take a guy out? You can't take him out when he's playing that well. He's an important part of our future. Been a very good surprise. Disciplined, good back control.
Well, I know that Winter Springs team well, and he faced a very outstanding 90-plus pitcher in that game. He goes down on the breaking ball here to end the inning.
But it's a big inning for New Smyrna Beach as they played 4 runs on 2 hits. 3 big errors by the Eagles. And at the end of 1, New Smyrna Beach 4, Brandon nothing here on the FHSAA Network. Mike Rideout along with Mark Shandback, our producer Keith Gamble. Welcome back to Port St. Lucie. 4-0 New Smyrna Beach on top of the Brandon Eagles. Here in the first of 2 Class 7A semifinals coming up at 1 o'clock. It'll be Atlantic High School of Delray Beach, which is ranked 39th nationally in the Powerade Top 50, taking on Venice. Indians with 1 state championship, coached by Craig Faulkner. Atlantic coached by Steve Wilson. Eagles send up 6, 7, and 8 against Dakota Todd. Michael Caballero will lead things off. The first pitch misses for ball 1.
Well, Brandon's going to have to hit themselves out of this hole. They hit the ball well in the first inning, taking the initiative with the hit and run and getting the bases loaded, but just all the ground balls that Todd was able to get up were hit right at people after that. Nice defense got him out of a jam.
Caballero batting .273. fact, as a team, Brandon batting just .296. But they have 4 pitchers with under a 2 ERA. That'll help you. As a team, a 1.47 earned run average. The 2-1 pitch bounces in there for ball 3. And already we see action now down in the bullpen for the Eagles. I'll try to get a number here in just a moment. The 3-1 pitch. Inside for ball 4. First walk issued by Todd.
Well, those are the kind of things that'll drive you crazy, put gray hair in your head, or make you lose your hair as a coach. You get a 4-run lead, and your pitcher goes out there and consequently walks the leadoff batter. All you're looking for him to do now is pound the strike zone. You got a 4-run lead. Let your defense continue to do the work for you.
Ryan Anderson fouls off the first pitch. After the 7A semifinals, which are back-to-back, 8A comes up later this afternoon. Timber Creek out of Orlando, Spruce Creek of Port Orange at 4 o'clock. Miami Columbus and Palm Beach Gardens at 7 o'clock.
Mike, the pitcher down in the bullpen is actually our outfielder, center fielder, Hinestroza, trying to get some work in right now in case he has to come in the middle of an inning next inning.
No balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first here in the top of the second inning. Todd from the stretch, the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, hit to right field, but Ogram is there. He drifts back and makes the catch for out number 1.
Can't find a more beautiful day to be playing baseball than this, Mike. You got 80 degrees, partially cloudy. You got fans sitting up underneath the shaded areas. Some New Smyrna faithful are smiling right now. The Brandon folks are a little nervous at the moment.
First pitch to the next batter, Jordan Feist, taken outside for ball 1. Well, Coach Matt Stahlbaumer in his 10th year made note of the fact that this year's version of the Eagles reminds him of that 2018 that lost in the state semifinals, as that one is hit out to left field. Rogers will make the catch, and there's quickly 2 away. He said that 2018 was all about baseball, and so is this team. There are no individuals that pop out at you, but they all just play for each other.
Well, it's an emotional day for many of these players. If they lose and go home, some of them, it may be their last baseball game of their careers.
Here's Miguel Fajardo, the right fielder.
Nice breaking ball from Todd there.
Fajardo batting .292. Tied for second with 4 doubles. Driven in 11 runs this year. As he slaps that one out into right center field. Base hit, rounding second. Caballero headed for third. The throw is cut off, and runners are on the corners.
Caballero put it into third gear there after he passed second base. Looked like he was carrying something, though.
He was a little slow getting around that second base bag.
Billy Joel might have been looking for some of his equipment. The piano man.
4th hit of the game for the Eagles, and now here's the top of the order. They couldn't play to run with the bases loaded and nobody out. Let's see if they can get a timely hit. Taylor Raymond did get a hit in the first, and he gets one here in the second. A base hit will score a run, and the Eagles are on the scoreboard. It's now 4-1.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that Brandon can stroke the baseball. They had to get to this place somehow, and so far defense has been shown as their strength. Hitting is their strength. That is their 5th hit of the ball game.
Here's Austin Sullivan, who also singled in the first inning, as Todd works from the stretch. The 2-out pitch, up and in for ball 1.
Sullivan hit a strong ground ball through the shortstop spot, vacated on the hit and run. Shortstop heading to second base to cover. Now with 2 men on, he needs a base knock to drive in a run.
The sophomore hits that one foul, third base side. Sullivan second on the team, batting .315. 9 ribbies.
And it is always happens. You walk a runner, and that runner invariably seems to score.
This one has bounced over to second base. Amendollori on to first, and the inning is over. 4-3 on the putout, but the Brandon Eagles do get on the scoreboard. 1 run on a couple of hits. No errors. 2 left. We head now to the bottom of the second. New Smyrna Beach 4, Brandon 1. Here from Port St. Lucie here at the FHSAA Baseball Finals. New Smyrna Beach will send up 9-1-2 here in the bottom of the second inning. Joe McKee, the third baseman, will lead things off. McKee, a junior. Great hands. Does a good job with the glove. Very competitive. Moved to the number 9 spot and has relished in it. In fact, a couple of game-winning hits during the playoffs. He had a walk-off single in the 9th inning in the region semifinals. Little blooper out in the right field, but coming in is Fajardo to take away a hit.
Got a good jump on that thing. Made sure to kind of corral the ball as he went to the ground, make sure it didn't pop out.
So 1 out, and we head to the top of the order. Here's the shortstop, Dylan Woods. Woods, a junior, a transfer from Orlando. A switch hitter.
Transferred from where?
Transferred from Orlando, but coach couldn't remember what school. I mentioned earlier about the catcher for Adams, for Brandon, right now catching Adam Sass, and kind of an interesting story. Adam Sass was kind of thrown into the fire, if you will, when Tyler Raymond tore his ACL prior to the 2011 season. And at the time, he had only caught about 21 innings since he started playing Little League Baseball prior to the 2011 season. And he said he remembered when he first put his gear on that he kept complaining about the mask not feeling comfortable. And Stahlbaumer, his coach, said, I told him he had about 2.5 weeks to figure it out. Sleep in it if you have to. A ground ball to second. And Sullivan throws out Woods for the second out of the inning. But Sass, very smart guy, nearly a 6.0 GPA. He's going to probably walk on to the University of Florida.
What kind of grading scale is that? I thought 5.0
obviously
was as high as you could
obviously
get.
A weighted one, yeah.
Wow.
I wish I could have weighted mine a little bit. Here's Brandon Amendollori, excuse me, the second baseman, reached on an error, one of 3 errors in the first inning.
Yeah, I always love that Yogi Berra quote, 90% of hitting is mental.
Right.
The other half is physical.
Little soft liner over to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the second. We head to the third. Class 7A state semifinals. New Smyrna Beach 4, Brandon 1 here on the FHSAA Network.
Brandon 1. The FHSAA is on Facebook and Twitter. Go to facebook.com/FHSAA and become a fan. You can keep up with teams of people who help make high school athletics in the state of Florida the best. Follow on Twitter at FHSAA for instant news and updates, along with information on issues that affect Florida high schools. Be a fan of it all.
Well, we have crowned 2 state champions yesterday in Class 6A. Archbishop McCarthy three-peated. They had won back-to-back in 4A. They won the 6A title yesterday over Pace. 4-3 was the final score. Archbishop McCarthy ranked 13th according to Baseball America, one of 9 nationally ranked teams here this week. In the other game, well, it really was no contest. American Heritage rolled over Ponte Vedra 9-0 to win the Class 5A state championship. Here in the top of the third for Brandon, 3, 4, and 5. Heinestroza will lead things off. He's singled to right his first at bat. He's 1 for 1 as he bunts this one foul.
Got a tough pitch to bunt. Probably would have hit him if he'd have turned his back to it, but as he was trying to leave the box while he was bunting toward first base, took his eye off it, fouled it back.
American Heritage of Plantation defeated the #1 team in the country, Tampa Jesuit, in the state semifinals. And then they cruised to the title. They're ranked 6th according to ESPN, 14th in Baseball America. They snapped Estero's 25-game win streak in the region finals, 1-0. Estero was ranked 26th by ESPN. So a lot of Florida teams ranked in the top 40 or so nationally.
Well, American Heritage flashed some power in that game against Jesuit. Took them extra innings, but a 3-run home run.
1-2 pitch. That one hit sharply over to shortstop. Nice play by Woods. The stretch at first is in time. How about the stretch by Sapotnik? Doing a split over there.
Laid it all the way out. It kept his foot on the bag at the same time.
1 out for the pitcher, Chris Toney.
That's a good sign for Dakota Todd to get a ground ball, get back to what he left the ball up a little bit last inning, had some line drives hit to the outfield.
Toney batted with the bases loaded and nobody out. He hit it to third. This one is to short. Scooped up again by Woods. A little bit better, more fluid that time. 6-3, and there's quickly 2 away. Four runs, 2 hits, no errors for New Smyrna Beach. 1 run, 5 hits, 3 errors for Brandon. The Eagles batting in the top of the third. Here's Adam Sass, the catcher.
Sass is also a pitcher when he's not catching.
Well, Coach Stahlbaumer told him that catching was the quickest way to college ball. Even though he was waiting to play shortstop, he was the team captain, wanted to show some leadership. That's why he decided to become a catcher. Takes that one inside for a ball.
Well, it's not a fun position, and especially in the summers, nobody wants to be stuck in that gear, catching bullpens and everything like that. So, you know, the most famous shortstop turned catcher right now, everybody probably knows, was at Florida State. That's Buster Posey. Same thing. Coach Martin needed a catcher. Posey stepped forward and said, "Coach, I'll do it." And look at him in the big leagues now.
Was it Posey that played all the positions in one game?
Coach Martin arranged it to where he made his way around the diamond.
3-0 pitch is over the head. Sass will take off to first. A 2-out walk. Sass also tied for the team lead with a .342 batting average. Leads a team with 7 doubles. We'll have a courtesy runner. This is Brandon Wilborn.
Well, Wilborn, just a freshman, getting his first chance of action in a state semifinal.
Designated here, Michael Caballero at the plate as the first pitch is called a strike. The throw to second, not in time. A stolen base for Wilborn. Second walk issued by Dakota Todd. Caballero had the first walk. So a runner in scoring position with 2 outs for the Eagles. Caballero, one of 4 seniors in the starting lineup. The 0-1 pitch. Got a piece of it and fouled it off at home plate. 0-2.
Well, the speedy Wilborn will be scoring on any base hit. Outfielders giving respect to the designated hitter. Playing deep in right, deep in center, deep in left. Now the left fielder moving more toward the gap off the line.
Caballero bats .273, has 1 home run. As a team, Eagles with only 4 total. The 0-2 pitch is up high, 1-2. The Eagles had 5 hits through the first 2 innings. They're looking for their first hit in the third.
Well, Mike, if Dakota Todd's best friend is the ground ball, his worst enemy is the walk. Leadoff walk last inning ended up scoring. The walk that's now at second base, threatening to score here this inning.
Just got a piece of it to stay alive.
It's going to take a 2-out clutch hit, though, to make it happen.
Well, they got a clutch hit last inning, a 2-out single by Tyler Raymond. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. 4-1, New Smyrna Beach. As that one is hit pretty well to right field, but Ogren read it well off the bat, and he tracks it down for the third and final out. No runs, no hits, no errors, a walk, and 1 left. Brandon has stranded 5 through 3. We head to the bottom of the third inning. The Barracudas, certainly one of the Cinderellas this week at the FHSAA Baseball Finals, with a 3-run lead heading to the bottom of the third.
Sports Authority, your baseball authority. Balfour, makers of official FHSAA championship rings. Glossy Finish, the official photographer of the FHSAA. Field Turf, the ultimate surface experience. Florida Virtual School, online education anytime, any place, any path, any pace. Sun Sports at FSM Florida, the exclusive television homes of the FHSAA Finals. And Bright House Sports Network, the official cable partner of the FHSAA. And Batted, who spun the official baseball for the 2012 FHSAA Finals.
Did you party in Stewart last night?
Mike right up back with Mark Schanbach, former pitcher for Valdosta State. Pitched in the Division II College World Series. Also won a state championship at the high school level in California. First batter, Steve Rogers, hits the first pitch out to left field, but the catch is made by Ryan Anderson for the first out of the inning. Rogers now 0 for 2. Reached on an error back in the first and scored. But 1 pitch, 1 out. Here's right fielder Joel Ogren. Ogren was hit by a pitch and scored in the first. Yeah, we talked a little bit about the catcher there, Adam Sass, and you mentioned that he has pitched some. And it was interesting because, and you can comment on this, being a former pitcher, but Mark, coach for the Eagles, Matt Stahlbaumer, made the comment that You know, being a pitcher in college, they were always told that you can have average pitching and great catching, and you put together a great pitching staff. But if you have great pitching and poor catching, you're not going to quite make it.
Well, let me flesh that out for you a little bit, Mike. If you can't trust your catcher to throw balls that are going to drop into the dirt, breaking balls, change-ups, things, and you watch Tim Wakefield throw the knuckleball. If you can't trust your catcher, you have a loss of confidence out there throwing, and you're always going to be worried. And runners are going to take advantage of you. So if you walk a guy, he's going to be standing on second soon. So that your catcher is really important as your battery mate in your success.
And your catcher is probably one of your more athletic guys too, isn't he?
Well, he's definitely the most gritty.
Yeah.
And he is usually the one that is not afraid to get dirty.
Count is full with 1 out, nobody on. As the next pitch, called ball 4, and Ogram reaches base for the second time in the game.
Ogram made a nice play on that fly ball to end the inning last inning. Luckily, coach had a good depth chart, had his outfield playing deep with 2 outs, allowed Ogram to be able to take an angle to cut that ball off in the gap.
Here's Jordan Sapotnik. Great awareness, team leader on the field. 3 home runs this year, but 2 in 1 game against Deltona. That one hit to straightaway center field, but Anastroza is there for the second out of the inning.
Just got under it. The game has picked up. The pace is moving along here. Got 2 outs.
There's the designated hitter, Casey Zakaluzny, who is 1 for 1 with an RBI. Barracudas struck for 4 runs on 2 hits and 3 errors in the bottom of the first. They lead by 3 runs here in the bottom of the third. First pitch is there for a strike. Zakaluzny batting .256. Fouls this one back to the seats.
Well, you have to hope that New Smyrna doesn't take their foot off the gas. The errors in the first inning from Brandon kind of accelerated their start out here. See if they can string together some more hits.
This one's popped up to short. Feist will make the catch, and that will do it for the Barracudas in the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, a walk, and 1 runner left on base. We've completed 3 Class 7A state semifinals from Port St. Lucie. The Barracudas. It's been 75 years since they made it to the state championship game, trying to get back. They lead by 3 runs. Back after this.
Visit becomeanofficial.org, or now you can register as a contest official with the Florida High School Athletic Association. GlossyFinish.com wants to remind you that you can see all the action photos of your team from your seat. Using your iPhone, turn on your Wi-Fi settings, choose Photo Viewer, and follow the directions.
I used to be a soccer ref. Oh yeah, college. God, paid for my beer in college. I used to ref 40-year-old league. It was hilarious.
There's something wrong with the world today. I don't know what it is. Something's wrong.
Brandon Eagles will send up the bottom third of the order. Last time Brandon advanced to the state tournament was 2008. They had several college and pro ball bound sophomores that led the way. James Ramsey went to USF. Spencer Haynes went to UCF. Roderick Shoulders was a 25th round draft pick by the Chicago Cubs. And while this team doesn't have the stars, I mentioned earlier that none of the Brandon seniors have college offers yet. One thing that they have adopted is the new motto, family. He said, they really are a close-knit group. Ryan Anderson will lead things off. The sophomore left fielder, 0 for 1. He flew out to right back in the second inning. First pitch from Dakota Todd. Grounded left side, through for a base hit. 6th hit of the game for the Eagles. Well, they've had base runners, but back in the first, they had the bases loaded with nobody out and couldn't get a run across the plate, and you hope that doesn't come back to haunt them.
Certainly not what they had hoped for to get started, but looking to play catch up here.
Here's Jordan Feist, the shortstop. Takes the first pitch outside for a ball 1.
Center fielder Heinestroza throwing again down in the bullpen in between innings so he can get his work and be prepared if needed to come into a game.
Feist 0 for 1, flew out to left in the second inning. Leads the team with a .342 average. Runner on the move, the throw to second, not in time. It's a stolen base for Ryan Anderson.
A nice aggressive play there, down 3 runs, not afraid to run this early in the game. Middle innings here, trying to play the guy with just one more base hit.
So 2 balls and no strikes to Feist. As that one hitting. So the Eagles threatening again. 2 on with nobody out. Top of the order on deck as the number 9 hitter of the order, Miguel Fajardo, comes to the plate. Fajardo had a base hit to right center field his first at bat.
Yes, we get a little activity. Tyler Christensen will get up in the bullpen for New Smyrna Beach.
Well, do you sacrifice here, Mark?
That's a tough call. That's a great question. You don't want to give them an out when they're struggling.
Fajardo batting .292. Tied for second on the team with 4 doubles.
That answered our question right there.
Mm-hmm.
Fajardo looks like the type of hitter that is looking for one pitch he can drive. Outfield's playing deep, respecting his power.
Todd working from the stretch with 2 on and nobody out. Brandon 19-8. New Smyrna Beach 17-11.
Miguel, not your typical 9-hole hitter, hitting .317 on the year. There's the bunt.
He does bunt it.
And a nice job of getting the runners over.
3-4 sack bunt. And now the top of the order comes up. Anderson to third, Feist to second. 1 out for Tyler Raymond, who is 2 for 2 with an RBI.
I like Stahlbaumer's approach. The coach gave him one pitch to take his hack at, and after he had his one chance, he was asked to do the team thing and sacrifice the runners over. With just 1 out, you can score a run a number of ways here. Fly ball, error, and even a ground ball up the middle past the pitcher will score the run easily.
That also probably showed the confidence in Fajardo to be able to sacrifice given just 1 pitch to do so. You see a lot of guys try to sacrifice and it takes more than 2 efforts. The 1-0 pitch to Raymond. Called a strike. Count evens at 1-1 on the senior.
Dakota Todd pitching with the 3-run lead, can afford to trade an out for a run right here. Looking to get that ground ball. Corners in, middle infield back.
1-1 pitch. Swung on, hit to third.
Cut off.
Well, McKee looked like he wanted to come home with it. Instead, he has no play.
Well, if you had it to do over again, McKee made a great choice in the first inning going second base for the double play. That time, for whatever reason, his entire body momentum was taking him toward right field as he reached out, extended glove side to get that ball. As he tried to reach, it looked like he had already made up his mind he was going to spin and throw home. The smarter play right there probably would have been just take a couple steps, throw the runner out at first, and allow the runner to score.
It will be an error on the third baseman. 4-2 now as Brandon plates a run. They've got the tying run at first. Here's Austin Sullivan, the second baseman, who's 1 for 2.
So errors playing a big part in this ball game. See if this opens the floodgates for Brandon to get right back in this.
Sullivan, a sophomore, second on the team, batting .315. First pitch is called a strike.
Still just one out with a runner at third. You can't rule out the possibility of some kind of a safety or a suicide squeeze in this situation.
Throw goes to first, not in time.
Middle infield back, looking to turn 2 in the middle.
There goes the runner to second. The pitch is inside and low for a ball. An easy stolen base for Raymond.
No throw at all. Well, that removes the threat of the double play ball.
That's the third stolen base for the Eagles today.
It would appear the early scouting report is you can run on the Barracudas.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The 1-1 pitch.
There it is.
Foul.
I suggested it could happen earlier. There it was. That was the suicide squeeze. Runner was coming barreling down. The key to that play, you can't leave before the pitcher breaks his hands. Once he breaks his hands, it's difficult for him mentally to change the direction of the ball. But you want to get a good walking lead and then take off full speed once his hands break away from the glove.
One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Swung on and hit foul. Third base side.
Good diving effort by McKee. Well, the entire infield playing in at this moment. Any hard hit grounder could find a gap to get through. Outfield still playing average depth, so a base hit's likely to score 2, tie this game.
That tying run at second base with 1 out. The 1-2 pitch from Todd. Swing and a miss. Throw down to first. Completes a strikeout.
Good job there by Scarcello, looking the runner back at third prior to throwing to record the strikeout put out.
And that is just the first strikeout of the game for Todd, but it comes at a big moment with runners at second and third. Can he work out of another jam? He worked out of a bases-loaded jam with nobody out in the first inning. 1 run in here in the top of the 4th. New Smyrna Beach struck for 4 runs on 2 hits and 3 errors in the bottom of the first, and right now holding on by 2 runs. But the tying run at second for Eric Heinestroza, who is 1 for 2 in the game.
Interesting conversation there initiated by the catcher. Could be the discussion of, do you want to really pitch to this guy or do we want to pitch to the guy behind him? Righty on lefty right here and a base open. Probably going to keep the ball out of the zone, hopefully low. Nothing up in his wheelhouse.
The 2-out pitch. Base hit. 1 run comes home. Here comes run number 2. The tying run will score. 4-4. Throw to second. The ball got away. Everybody's safe. The Eagles have tied the game with 3 runs here in the top of the 4th.
Nice piece of classic hitting right there. Took the ball the other way. Didn't try to do too much with it. RBI single, took second base on the throw. They may charge an error to the shortstop when that ball popped out.
And timeout called. Here comes Coach Nick Rosilio.
Well, we have us a new ball game now. Tied 4-4 with 2 outs. Runner on second.
And that's going to be it for Dakota Todd. Todd gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, but remember, the error opened the door.
And we'll see Tyler Christensen now as we come back from...
Christensen, one of 3 new Smyrna Beach pitchers who entered the region tournament with more than 40 innings pitched and an ERA under 3. Christensen has posted 10 1/3 relief innings in 3 wins during the region playoffs, so he has been utilized throughout the postseason. But Brandon, give the Eagles credit for battling back to tie it up after it was really opposite ends of the spectrum in the first inning. They had the bases loaded with nobody out, failed to score, then committed 3 errors in the bottom of the first. Barracudas had a couple of hits and plated 4 runs. It was 4-0 at the end of 1. But Brandon with 1 run in the second and 3 runs here in the top of the 4th to tie the game at 4 apiece. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get a look at this, but the next batter, Chris Toney, you know, we talked about Brandon and their motto of family. Brandon's Chris Toney, who will bat next, grew up with 3 older sisters. He wears remembrances of his biological family on his body. The names of his nieces and nephews, Jacob and Aurora, are tattooed on the back of his forearms. And he wears his late grandmother's wedding ring on his glove hand.
Wow.
Talk about family. That guy is all about family. He said that his grandmother, his late grandmother, got him through everything and still gets him through everything. You can see some of the tats there. Can't see the ring because of the gloves, but he still speaks very highly of his grandmother, who passed away before he entered high school, saying that she was pretty much like a second mom. He lived with her his whole life. Well, Toney with a chance to drive in the go-ahead run now.
Well, the nerves are going to be tough to shake off here for Christensen coming into this situation with the runner in scoring position in a tie ball game.
As this one is hit out of play right side. Tyler Christensen, 4-2 on the year, making his 15th appearance. Comes in with a 2.36 ERA, 21 walks, 57 strikeouts. 82 to 86 miles an hour. Will attend UCF but not play baseball. Yes, he did offer at it and he missed it. Christensen with a 4-seam fastball, a changeup, a breaking ball. Was #1 earlier this year, but struggled and got put in a closer role and really has flourished there. Has thrown 16 scoreless innings in the postseason. You like that out of your closer.
That's how you end up being in the semifinals of the state championship.
The 1-2 pitch, good block there by Scarcello, but the runner was on the move anyway, and it'll be a stolen base.
Good read. Once he saw the ball in the dirt, had a good secondary lead, took off and stole third base.
Stroza at third base with 2 outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 3 runs in for Brandon. The Eagles have tied the game at 4 here in the top of the 4th. The 2-2 pitch fouled back to the netting. 4 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors for Brandon, 4, 2, and 1 for New Smyrna Beach, as that one is also hit out of play.
Tyler Christensen logged the second most innings of any pitcher, 43 innings. Did walk 20 batters. That's a pretty high ratio.
The 2-2 pitch from Christensen. Ground ball left side to shortstop. Woods scoops it up, throws across the diamond in time. 6-3 on the putout, and that will do it for the Eagles. But they send 7 to the plate. They score 3 runs on 2 hits. There was a big error in the inning as well, and 1 runner left at third. The Eagles have stranded 6 through 4, but they have tied the game at 4 apiece. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Bottom third of the order due up for the Barracudas when we come back.
The keepsakes that last forever.
Welcome back to Port St. Lucie. First of 2 Class 7A state semifinals here on the FHSAA network. Coming up next at 1 o'clock, it'll be Atlantic of Delray Beach and Venice. The 8A semifinals are later today at 4 o'clock. Timber Creek of Orlando, Spruce Creek of Port Orange, Miami Columbus and Palm Beach Gardens follows at 7 o'clock. Marty Palman will join Mart later today for the 8A semifinals.
Well, the beauty of this game so far, this is like one of those roller coasters over at Islands of Adventure. The roller coaster of emotion. We've gone from each team having big innings, the nervousness. There's a ball that deflected and a nice scramble to make the play.
But he's thrown out by Tony, 1-3. Scarcello is retired for the first out of the inning. Scarcello had lined out to center field in the first, but it was deep enough to plate a run. The senior retired for the first out of the inning. Here's Robert Prosser. Sophomore is 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
Outfield playing the young sophomore Shallow.
Prosser now 4 for 7 in the state playoffs. Started on the JV, called up due to injuries, and has played well. 1-0 pitch is called a strike. 1-1. I'm sure he had a few butterflies when he got rolling here today. 1-1 pitch. That one's taken down low for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom of the 4th. We're tied at 4. Class 7-8 state semifinals from Digital Domain Park in Port St. Lucie. Beautiful day, 82 degrees. Partly cloudy, but blue skies. Sun has been out all morning. The 2-2 pitch. That one's taken outside for ball 3. 3-2 now.
We talked about the dreaded walks. You don't want to have a big inning and come out and walk the leadoff batter. That's a good way to swing the momentum back the other way.
3-2 pitch, low outside, ball 4. New Smyrna Beach definitely brought the most fans today, so that'll give them something to cheer about with a runner at first and 1 out. Second walk issued by Tony, who also has hit a batter.
I highly expect Joe McKee to drop down a sacrifice bunt right here.
McKee third baseman. One of the most competitive guys on the team, according to Coach Virgilio. One out pitch is high for ball one. Top of the order on deck.
Coach Virgilio did not have the bunt on there. Maybe taking a strike.
McKee batting .329. As a team, New Smyrna Beach bats .300. Runner on the move. He's trying to protect the runner. Swing and a miss.
Ooh.
And it's going to be a stolen base.
Nice pickup by the catcher on the hop and made a strong throw, a long skipping throw right to the bag. The runner kind of let up, not knowing that he needed to slide.
Yeah, Sass recovered nicely there.
The baseman came up and caught the ball in front of the bag, so could not reach the runner even if he had tried.
1-1 pitch to McKee with a runner in scoring position. Hit to center field, but Nostroza goes back to make the catch, and there's 2 away. So it's going to take a timely hit now. 2 outs, but the top of the order coming up. Here's Dylan Woods looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 2.
Well, both coaches are taking notice that the running game is going to be successful on the opposition's catching situation. Nice throw there, but got a great jump on the breaking ball in the dirt.
Barracudas trying to take the lead. Woods won a timeout, but waited too late. First pitch is there for strike 1. It's been 75 years since the Barracudas last played in the state baseball Final Four. They advanced to the championship game that year, 1937. 0-1 pitch is popped up to first. Right on the line, now in foul territory. Giddens will make the catch, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, no errors, a walk. A runner stranded in scoring position. We've completed 4. We're all tied at 4 here in Port St. Lucie.
We're through 4. Your score, Brandon 4, New Smyrna Beach 4. The winner of today's semifinal game will advance to the Class 7A state championship game tomorrow at 4:05 p.m. against the winner of Atlantic Community and Venice.
The Brandon Eagles will send up batters 5, 6, and 7 against Tyler Christensen, who came in relief of Dakota Todd last inning. Four runs, 7 hits, 3 errors for Brandon. 4 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for New Smyrna Beach. Barracudas had both of their hits in the first inning when the Eagles had all 3 of their errors. That's why they were able to play 4 runs to take an early 4-0 lead. But Brandon with 1 in the first, or rather 1 in the second and 3 in the fourth to tie the game as we head to the top of the 5th. Adam Sass will lead things off. The catcher grounded into a double play with the bases loaded to end the first. He also walked in the third. Don't forget, coming up next, another 7A semifinal. Atlantic of Delray Beach and Venice scheduled for 1 o'clock today. The 1-0 pitch. One's up and in for ball 2, 2-0.
I have to admit, Mike, I was premature in mentally almost writing off Brandon after that atrocious first inning that they've recovered from. the defensive play put them in a big hole, down 4-0, and
yeah,
they had the confidence to just keep chipping away. Got 1 in the second, and now 3 in the fourth. Be tied 4-all. There's a push bunt.
That's going to go foul. Not only the errors that they committed that helped lead to those runs, but also having the bases loaded with nobody out in the top of the first and failing to score. So it's like a double whammy.
A lot of weaker teams mentally would have just crumbled and caved in after that, but a tribute to Coach Stahlbaumer not allowing his team to lay down after that.
The 2-2 pitch. Curveball swung on and grounded foul third base side. 2-2 on Adam Sass, who leads the team with a .342 batting average. Also leads the team with 27 hits and 7 doubles. And that one hit up the middle, base hit. 8th hit of the game for the Eagles.
Well, you know what they say. A win is a win, and it doesn't matter if it's pretty or ugly, as long as you get it done.
Courtesy runner once again will be Brandon Wilborn.
Wilborn impressed me in the first stint as the pinch runner with a steal of second base. Good chance they're going to do something throwing over to try to hold him closer this time. Nope.
This is Michael Caballero, the designated hitter, 0 for 1 with a walk, a fly out, and a run scored. Wilborn, just a freshman. Throw to first. Wilborn back in safely.
Well, Wilborn getting a look for the first time at Christensen's move. Let's see if he goes on this pitch. Could be a good call for a pitch out right here.
Timeout was called by Caballero. 4-4, top of the 5th. Class 7A state semifinals. The 0-1 pitch, there he goes. And it was a pitch out. Great call, Mark, but they're not going to get him.
That's good speed right there.
Second stolen base for Wilborn. He's in scoring position with nobody out. But you called it.
I've managed a few games in my day, Mike, in 30 plus years. In fact, I'll tell you a story after this inning.
This one's popped up, but it's going to get back to the seats.
Related to baseball, but how I actually met my wife was when I got out of Valdosta and moved to Orlando. I volunteered and coached what they called a Little League Big League team. It was a 17, 18-year-old team. One of those players, a 17-year-old named David Lippett, is now my brother-in-law. A year later, needed somebody that was a truck to help me move, called his house. His sister answered the phone. Well, and less than a month later, I asked her to marry me. We've been married almost 27 years now.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
So baseball is very dear to me. It's given me quite a few blessings.
And you've had a great career. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, you won a state championship at the high school level in California. Your junior college team at one time, 25-0, was ranked #1 in the country in Tennessee. And then you went on to Valdosta State and got a chance to go to a World Series with the Blazers.
Learned from some great managers along the way. I took a few teams to collegiate tournaments in the summers. The big tournament out in Wichita, National Baseball Congress. We went to the Grand Forks International Invitational out in Grand Forks, British Columbia. Played against the Japanese industrial team, the Canadian national team. There's a shot.
Yeah, base hit, and that's going to play to run. They're waving home Wilborn. The throw is cut off, and the Eagles have their first lead of the day, 5-4.
Well, the stolen base set up that base knock run scoring opportunity right there. Tremendous job of hitting from the Designated hitter right there.
That's the first run given up in the postseason by Tyler Christensen. We're going to have I think another runner at first base for Caballero.
I don't know if it, I was going to say.
This will be Trey Taylor. Taylor, a sophomore.
I wouldn't have been surprised if they ran Brandon Wilborn back out there as a substitute to do it all over again with nobody out. But Trey Taylor is going to get an opportunity now to shine.
So the Eagles have taken a one-run lead here in the top of the fifth. Still nobody out. And here's the left fielder, Ryan Anderson, who's 1 for 2 with a run scored.
Taylor, a backup catcher, just a sophomore. Get an opportunity to get a taste of the semifinal action here in the big stadium.
1-0 pitch. Not a full swing, but effective. Base hit to right field. Rounding second is Taylor. He's going to third. He'll get there safely. Runners are on the corner, still with nobody out.
Taylor hesitated a moment, picked up his third base coach, saw the wheel, arms waving, bringing him on over. Continued to chug on toward third. Nice first to third play there on the base hit to right field.
Back-to-back hits. Well, you got the 8 hitter in the order. That means the top of the lineup should come up to bat here in the fifth. There's Jordan Feist, the shortstop.
No one in the pen, Mike. This is Tyler Christensen's dilemma to get out of by himself.
Throw goes to first, not in time. Eagles now with 5 runs on 10 hits. There goes the runner to second. The pitch is high. The throw to third. Not in time. So Anderson at second. The pinch runner Taylor at third. And now the Brandon Eagle fans on their feet. Infield draws in on the grass, hoping for a ground ball in the infield. Outfield plays straight away, but medium.
Well, I will mention it again. This is an opportunity, potential squeeze or safety squeeze right here as well.
Breaking pitch called a strike.
Got number 8 hole hitter Feist. If he can muscle one out of the infield over the drawn in infield, he will plate 2 runners. So got to weigh the pros and cons here, how you want to go about getting your runs home. There it is.
Pitch into right field, base hit, 1 run scores. They're going to hold the other runner at third, and a good decision to do so. Good throw from right field by Ogram. But that's 4 hits in a row, and now the Eagles lead it 6-4.
Well, I have a hunch the only reason why there's no one throwing in the bullpen, Mike, is the fact that the next pitcher to throw is going to be coming from the diamond. Perhaps Mendelare. We got Jordan Spotnik is available as a left-handed pitcher. But Christensen struggling here in this 5th inning.
Brandon with 6 runs on 11 hits as the number 9 hitter in the order comes to the plate. Miguel Fajardo is 1 for 1.
Still no outs.
Well, the second baseman and the shortstop playing back as Christensen fakes to third and looks back to first.
The affectionately known 31 move right there. Had the runner on first leaning. Had he been quicker to throw back toward first, probably would have had him hung up.
And now he does throw to first. 6 runs, 11 hits, 3 errors for the Brandon Eagles. 4 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the new Smyrna Beach Barracudas.
"11 hits by the Eagles, and we're in the 5th inning.
Runner is going to second base without a throw. They throw to third instead. So second and third, the infield will have to play in again. Mark, I count 7 stolen bases today for the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles have run it well.
One pitch there for a strike. No, excuse me, it's called a ball. My apologies. They even put 1 and 2 up on the scoreboard, but
everybody saw a movement that led them to believe it was a strike, but umpire corrects us with his 2-1 designation.
The 2-1 pitch. That one's fouled back to the seats.
Now we have 2 strikes. Well, a strikeout would be large right here. A strikeout or a pop-up is what you need with runners at second and third. You don't have a forced play at the plate, so a ground ball makes it for a tough decision if they send the runner on contact. Just a 2-run ball game still.
Christensen from the stretch, the 2-2 pitch. Swing, and he got a piece of it to stay alive.
You would love to have been able to squeeze that one. That would have been a strikeout could the catcher have squeezed it and held on.
Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out with 2 on. 2 runs across the plate here in the top of the 5th. Brandon leads it 6-4.
Outfield medium depth.
The 2-2 pitch, that one's bounced to third. They got what they needed, and the throw across in time for the first out of the inning.
Definitely got what they wanted. A nice ground ball that led the third baseman to the bag, forced the runner to go all the way back to the base. Made a nice throw across the diamond to get that first out. Not sure if they'll put this runner on to put a force everywhere here, but it's difficult. You're not dealing with professional pitchers here. These are high school players, and they're doing the best that they can out there.
Tyler Raymond has been on base all 3 times he's come to the plate. He singled in the first, singled and drove in a run in the second, and reached on an error and scored in the 4th.
I like Christensen's tempo. He's grabbing the ball. He's ready to throw a strike. Looking for a pitch.
Timeout call, though, by Raymond.
Raymond turning the tables on him, doesn't want him to work quickly, trying to take him out of his comfort zone. There's
called a strike. And it's 0-2.
Well, leadoff hitter Tyler Raymond with 1 out and 2 strikes won't be bunting here. Looking to drive one through the infield.
Christensen looking for his first strikeout since coming in relief of Dakota Todd in the 4th. That one is outside, 1-2.
There's a great example of why you back up the pitcher on every ball. You never know when that's going to happen. That might have been a design play, in fact. See if somebody would get caught leaning.
Every batter today, except for the cleanup batter, the pitcher, has gotten a hit. 11 hits on the day for the Eagles. The 1-2 pitch, and that one gets past the pitcher, but the second baseman, Amendelori, looks at runner back to third and throws on to first. There's 2 away. Another big out.
Well, let's see if they can wiggle out of this with just the 2 runs scoring. Christensen bearing down.
Austin Sullivan 1 for 3. The sophomore bats with 2 outs and 2 on. The 2-out pitch. Curveball taken outside, ball 1. Eagles trailed 4-0 at the end of 1. So 6 unanswered runs, including 2 here in the top of the 5th. That one's there for a called strike, 1-1.
Good pop on that fastball. Good location.
Sneaking a peek to the bottom of the 5th. The Barracudas will send up 2, 3, and 4. But they got to try to get out of the inning without giving up any more runs. The 1-1 pitch.
If you can get another look at Christensen's face, he's wearing the Bryce Harper style eye black. Intense competitor out there on the mound.
You know, it's a funny story. I host a high school show up in North Florida, and I had the Union County baseball team, which is here in the finals for the first time. There's a wild pitch, and the run will score. 7-4 Brandon. But the Union County baseball team from Lake Butler, they didn't have any eye black, so they went over to a vehicle and grabbed some oil and put it below their eyes.
Interesting. Well, we'll see if that extra run right there comes back to haunt New Smyrna.
The 3-1 pitch, ground ball left side to shortstop. Woods up with it across the diamond in time. But the wild pitch plated another run. 3-run score for the Brandon Eagles, who take their first lead of the game. Here in the Class 7A state semifinals, it's now Brandon 7, New Smyrna Beach 4, right here on the FHSAA network.
With 25 years of experience and expertise behind it, Pitcher Penny is now the world's largest franchise pool care company. Because of Pitcher Penny's unmatched commitment to customer satisfaction, it has been able to offer its knowledge and assistance to millions throughout the Southeast. Pitcher Penny, the perfect people in the perfect pool.
Bottom of the 5th inning, Barracudas trailing by 3 runs. You see your line total, 7 runs, 11 hits, 3 errors for Brandon, 4 runs, 2 hits, and 1 error for the Barracudas. The Barracudas getting both their hits in the first inning, and they have not gotten a hit since against Chris Toney. Toney has walked a couple of batters, hit a batter, and struck out 1. And he'll face top of the lineup, 2, 3, and 4. Batting here in the 5th. Brandon Amendelori will lead things off. He's 0 for 2 with a run scored. First pitch is a called strike. Amendelori reached on an error by the shortstop in the first inning. One of 3 errors in the inning. And he hits this one a line out to center field, but right to Heinestroza for out number 1. So 1 out for Steve Rogers, the left fielder. Barracudas were seemingly in control. Brandon had the bases loaded with nobody out in the top of the first, failed to score, and then when the Barracudas scored 4 runs in the bottom of the first, I was with you, Mark. I thought that this was New Smyrna Beach's game, but give Brandon credit as that one is popped up by Rogers to third for the second out of the inning.
Well, Brandon Eagle fans are starting to count outs now. They are just 7 outs away from playing in a state championship game.
In 2008, Brandon lost to Dunedin 16-3 in the 5A semifinals. This one is hit to left by Ogrom, but Anderson is there, and he'll make the catch, and it's a quick 1-2-3 inning. I think we had, 4 pitches in the inning. And that is the second time today that the Barracudas have gone down in order. We head to the top of the 6th. Brandon with a 3-run lead here in Port St. Lucie.
Through 5 innings, your score, Brandon 7, New Smyrna Beach 4. To purchase photos from the 2012 FHSAA Baseball Finals, visit Glossy Finish Photography on the World Wide Web at FHSAA.glossyfinish.com. You can then order prints and posters of the players online. But why wait? Find a Glossy Finish brand ambassador in a red vest during the championship games. And they can make sure your favorite player has their photo taken. Glossy Finish, official photographer of the FHSAA Finals. Fans are reminded to please stay off the field. We need your help in keeping the field at Digital Domain Park in top condition. Thank you for your cooperation.
Mike right up, Mark Shanback here at Digital Domain Park, spring training home of the New York Mets. And beyond center field, you can see some of the players there. I guess that's the non-roster players for the Mets?
Possibly some medical rehab assignment guys. The minor league club is on the road.
They will be back on Friday, which is another reason we have to make sure we don't have any washouts so we can complete the tournament in time. 3, 4, and 5 coming up for the Brandon Eagles. Hinostroza will lead things off, and he jumps on the first pitch and hits this one out to right field, and on the run, the catch is made by Ogrum.
Using the entire glove length to make that catch.
1 pitch, 1 out.
Ball got out there in a hurry.
First year on the varsity for Ogrum out in right field.
I like these 1 pitch out deals.
1 out for Chris Toney, the pitcher. Curveball there for a called strike. Toney, a fielder's choice. In fact, he was batting in the first inning with the bases loaded, hit to third. McKee came home and got the force out. He's also grounded out to short twice. This one's taken outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 7-4 Brandon, thanks to 3 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th. That one hit foul beyond the first base dugout.
Defensively, floodgates were open in the 4th for the Eagles with a mistake. 4 runs scored by New Smyrna were attributed many times to the errors in the inning. So we have not played a pretty game here, but it's been exciting, and the fans are into it.
Swing and a miss. Christensen gets his first strikeout. And there's 2 away.
You mentioned earlier, Brandon Eagles have stolen 7 bases. I wonder what the state record is in a game.
Not sure if they keep, they might have. They don't keep individual stats for softball. Baseball. This is the 90th year of the state tournament, by the way. Oh, 1 pitch. Grounded to the right side and through. So Sass with back-to-back hits. He also had a hit in the 5th. And that is the 12th hit of the game for the Eagles.
Well, if you're wondering how proud these teams that have made it this far should be, the member schools almost 800, 792 member schools make up the FHSAA. Only 32 teams make it this far in 8 classes, 4 teams per class. So regardless of the outcome of this game, a big hats off to both programs here.
Michael Caballero singled and drove in a run in his last at bat. He is 1 for 2. 2 outs with a runner at first.
There's that man again. That runner on first looking to go one more time.
Yeah, Wilburn back in as the runner.
Delay steal.
And, yeah, it was a delay steal, and he's going to easily get to second base.
Beautifully executed delay steal.
8 stolen bases today for the Eagles.
That's 3 alone for the courtesy runner.
One pitch inside part of the plate, called a strike, 1-2.
Well, each extra run that the Eagles can put on the board here be like insurance. Little security. The bats have gone silent for New Smyrna.
1-2 pitch, fouled back. You know, we were talking at the FHSAA softball finals about individual stats, and there was a girl that drove in 8 runs in one game, and I said that's got to be an FHSAA record, but unfortunately they don't have individual records for softball. You wonder if
did she hit 2 grand slams or what happened?
Well, she hit 1 grand slam and a home run in one game. Then she hit a home run in the second game, came up to the plate with her team down by a run and a runner on base with 2 outs, down to 2 strikes. They were down to their final strike of the season, and she hit a 2-run homer and they won the game. They beat Bartow 9-8. She played for Chamberlain. Madison Gonzalez, which, again, 11 runs driven in 2 games is unbelievable. 4 home runs and 11 RBIs.
Sounds like she'll be playing in a college uniform soon.
She will be playing community college as that one is hit into center field, but going back to second baseman Ahmed Delore, and he'll make the catch, and that will end the threat here in the 6th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, runner left. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Brandon still leading here in the Class 7A state semifinals from Port St. Lucie.
Durable surface on the planet. Field turf, the ultimate surface experience.
Well, the Barracudas are running out of outs. 6 left. They will send up 5, 6, and 7 against Chris Toney, who has not allowed a hit since the 1st inning. Jordan Sapotnik is 1 for 2 with a couple of RBIs. First pitch is taken down low for ball 1. 1-0 pitch, popped up, left side, shallow left field. In fact, the left fielder, Anderson, will come in and make the catch, and there's 1 away. You know, it's kind of interesting. They have been jumping on the first pitch a lot in the last couple of innings.
Chris Toney doing a good job keeping his composure after the 1st inning. Battling, holding them to just 2 hits, pounding the strike zone.
This is Casey Zakaluzny, the designated hitter, 1 for 2 with an RBI. He singled to left. They plated 4 runs on 2 hits and 3 errors in the bottom of the 1st inning. And they've only had 2 base runners since. Both were walks issued by Toney, 1 in the 3rd and 1 in the 4th. The 2-0 pitch That one's there for a called strike, 2-1.
Well, the countdown is on for the Eagles. 5 outs and counting.
It's now 2-2. Swing and a miss. Tony gets his first strikeout since the first inning.
You can just almost feel the confidence brewing in Chris Tony as each inning goes by. He seems to have gotten more and more controlled in his delivery, working hard, getting a lot of fly balls.
And this one chopped over to second base by Scarcello, and it's an easy 1-2-3 inning for the second consecutive inning. We head to the 7th final inning here in the Class 7A state semifinals. Brandon Eagles leading it 7-4. Mike right up, Mark Shan back, along with producer Keith Gamble. Welcome back. Port St. Lucie Digital Domain Park, the spring training home of the New York Mets. First of 2 Class 7A state semifinals here on the FHSAA network coming up at 1 o'clock. It'll be Atlantic High School of Delray Beach, which is ranked 39th nationally in the Powerade Top 50, taking on the Indians of Venice. Scheduled first pitch 1 o'clock. Also, the 8A semifinals on tap. At 4 o'clock, it'll be Timber Creek of Orlando, Spruce Creek of Port Orange, Miami Columbus, and Palm Beach Gardens at 7 o'clock. Mark will be joined by Marty Paulman, who will broadcast the 8A semifinals.
Well, Anderson's going to be looking to see if they can make it a baker's dozen as far as hits go. They've already got 12.
Anderson also looking for his 3rd hit. He's 2 for 3. First pitch up and in for ball 1.
Yeah, when the rest of your team has 12, you don't want to be the only one with a goose egg there.
And again, everyone except the cleanup batter has a hit today. Hit high in the air to left field. This one's playable for Rogers near the line. He'll make the catch. 1 out here in the 7th.
Shortstop, number 15, Jordan, 5.
Where is New Smyrna at in the order when they come up next inning, Mike?
In the bottom of the 7th, they'll send up 8, 9, and 1. As this one is bunted foul by Jordan Feist, the shortstop. Feist got a hit and drove in a run in his last at bat. A 1 pitch. Called a strike.
It'll be interesting to see if Coach Regilio calls on his bench.
0-2 pitch hit down the right field line. That's a base hit. Second hit of the game for Feist. And there's your baker's dozen.
13th hit of the ball game. Looking ahead, seeing if possibly Steven Rogers, if he's healthy, batting .320, have a chance to come up and pinch hit maybe in the bottom half of this inning.
Miguel Fajardo, who has one of the 13 hits. Shows bunt, pulls the bat back and takes it outside for ball 1.
Actually, my mistake. Rogers is hitting in the 3-hole. That would be difficult. Let's hope they get to him. That would mean they have a rally going. Lucas Walborn might be a better choice as a pinch hitter.
1-0 pitch is a wild pitch.
They couldn't get another stolen base there.
They were looking for number 9. The 2-0 pitch. Bunted right back to Christensen. The runner will hold at second. Fajardo getting some instruction from his coach at first base. Bunt that thing over to third.
That conversation is definitely, you want to make the third base and have to come field that ball. You can't bunt it right back to the pitcher.
We head to the top of the order. Here's Tyler Raymond, who has a couple of hits and an RBI. 2 outs with a runner at second, and that line right to the first baseman, Sapotnik, and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. The Eagles have stranded at least 1 runner in every inning. 9 for the game, but they lead by 3. Barracudas need 3 runs to keep their season alive. They'll send up 8, 9, and 1 when we come back. Robert Prosser will lead things off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Barracudas got 4 in the first. Can they get 3 here in the 7th? Prosser 0 for 1, a strikeout and a walk. The first pitch from Tony is down low for ball 1. As that one is bounced over to third, but Raymond fields it cleanly, throws to first, and now the Eagles are 2 outs away from playing for the Class 7A state championship.
Well, once the nervous jitters were knocked off in the first inning, it's been like a totally different ball club, this Brandon Eagles club, for the last 5 1/3 innings.
And that's now 9 in a row retired by Tony. As this one is grounded by McKee to short. Feist throws him out, 2 away. Again, they continue to swing at that first or second pitch mark. I've noticed they've done that for 3 innings in a row. Really 4 innings in a row. Does that surprise you at all?
Well, unfortunately, Chris Tony is pounding the strike zone, and they don't have many other options other than to go get the best pitch they see to hit. They're just hitting ground balls and fly balls right at people. They've hit some balls on the nose.
Here's Dylan Woods, who's 0 for 3. First pitch is called a strike.
Well, you see Woods crowding the plate heavily, looking to get on base and start a rally any way he could. Now he brings the open stance, looking to drive the ball.
Swing and a miss.
Down to their last strike.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 3 strikeouts in the game for Chris Tolney, and it's a 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So the Brandon Eagles, now 20-8 on the season, will play for the Class 7A state championship. There's your final line total: 7 runs, 13 hits, 3 errors for the Eagles, 4 runs, 2 hits, and an error for the new Smyrna Beach Barracudas. A great season for the Barracudas. It ends at 17-12. They advance to their first Final Four in 75 years. If you would like to purchase a DVD of this broadcast or any other, go to FHSAAsports.com. So now the Brandon Eagles will await the winner of our next game between Delray beats Atlantic and Venice. That game coming up at 1 o'clock. Once again, the final here in this first 7A semifinal. The Brandon Eagles 7 and the new Smyrna Beach Barracudas 4. Now speaking for my broadcast partner Mark Shanback and for our producer Keith Gamble and our entire Play On Sports crew, I'm Mike Rideout saying so long for now from Digital Domain Park here in Port St. Lucie.